One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He literally came up, touched it. Like money back in and start going.
The 2-4 Chandler-Gilbert women's basketball team is early in league play. This afternoon, they face another conference heavyweight. The squad on the floor facing 10th-ranked Pima is part of the doubleheader of Coyotes Hoops from the Coyotes Center on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno alongside Matt McCurdy. Coach Matt Strickland and his squad open league play with a tough 54-29 loss to number 9 Mesa. Today, it's more of the same as the 10th-ranked Aztecs come to town. And, Matt, for the Coyotes, look, they've got to start fast, and they need to get their offense going immediately.
Yeah, that's something we've really seen the past few games. We saw that really awesome game against Palm Beach State. But since then, the Coyotes just struggling to really get their balls in the hoop, get their points going on the board for them defensively. Really solid. But like you said, Joe, they got to come out strong. This is not a team that they can play soft against. They got to go in hard, fast, control the offense, and put points on the board.
Coyotes with only 6 first-half points in the loss to Mesa today. They face a Region 1 squad led by the league's leading scorer and freshman Kylie Sowers-Miller, knocking down 20 contributions up and down their lineup.
Yeah, impressive players. This is really a lineup we got to be looking out for. This is going to be something where Brianna has to get in there, really fight for her position, her spot on the court, and show that she can go up strong as well. I like her quickness off the rebound to get it in.
Your referees, Steve Riggs, Jonathan Varela, and Antonio Gutierrez. And that's a great sign right there for the Coyotes as Ortiz sets the tone, not just on the hustle, but at the free throw line. Coyotes only shooting 58%. They have to be better in that category.
Absolutely.
Aztecs, a lot of touches. You can see ball movement so crisp. Of course, the Coyotes, coached by first-year coach Matthew Strickland.
Good pass.
Inside look, and how about the feed from Sowers-Miller, working it down in the post to Rory Hoffmeyer. And 2 big bodies working well, and that was just instinctive touches and a good look.
And I really think there's 2 pluses off that, right? We saw Brianna Miller playing big, blocking out Kylie Sowers-Miller and keeping her away from the hoop, but her responding, getting out far, and then great over-the-top pass.
So Elena off the inbounds, works it over to Ortiz. Ortiz getting into the lane, kicks it out to Brianna Martin, and Martin showing her ability to put it on the floor. That's a positive sign. Ortiz will work in the corner. Horsley fires it up. Horsley a little too tough. Sowers-Miller with the rip. Nelson works it over to the wing. Horsley gets the defensive assignment. Kicked out. Aztecs continuing great ball movement. Ortiz, great wing defense. Now it's Daniel out in the post. Martin.
Ooh, good step through. Wow.
Puts it on the floor, and Sowers Miller slicing and dicing. She's got 4 quick points.
And
of course, for Pima, they are coached by Todd Holthouse in his 17th season, 371 career wins, played his college basketball at Grand Canyon. Daniel with the miss. Aztecs trying to keep the pace, upbeat, break blank look, up and in by Hoffmeyer. A sophomore that Coach Holthouse is saying is embracing the leadership role in her second season with the program. Daniel up top, works it to West. West gives up the dribble. Horsley over to Ortiz. Ortiz back out to West. 4 on the shot clock. West will stop, pop, throw it up, and that's going to be off the mark. Sowers Miller with the rip. Here come the Aztecs working the wing. Sowers Miller getting down the middle of the lane. And an impressive display by Sowers Miller as the Coyotes have got to burn a timeout. So this is our first look at Kylie Sowers Miller, and not a good sign for the Aztecs as she is limping off and grabbing her right knee. And that is not a good thing for Pima. You never want to see any of these young athletes get any kind of injury, no matter whether it be on the hard court or out in the playing field. So she is going back to the huddle with a slight limp, but early impressions of what you've seen from Sowers Miller.
Yeah, an impressive player. You know, normally athletes with this height and talent at this level, you know, sometimes when you have that height, you don't have the same finesse, but she seems to be able to manage the ball. And we saw some of those Euro steps, those glides inside the in-line past the defense where she put it up. It's impressive to watch, and it's fun to see. So I hope she's able to get back on the court real quick.
So Sowers Miller taking a break, checking in for the Aztecs as this one is fired up from deep. Number 33, Tayden Hanks in the ball game. Aztecs, no hesitation. Up and down the floor, pull up on the outside, and that's a splash from Kennedy Newman. And the Aztecs out to a 12-2 lead. And that is what they do. They play fast. Such a high field goal percentage from down in the post as Horsley rips from deep. Annalise Holthouse with the rebound. They dump it down. And Daniel will pick up the foul.
What I do like, the Coyotes really seem to be matching the pace of their offense. They haven't quite landed those shots like we talked about where they really need to put them in the hoop and get the points. But I like that they're taking the shots early. They don't look sloppy. It feels offensively very sound.
Sarah Smout now in the game for Chandler-Gilbert. Has the ability to shoot and score. Hannah Williams about to check in as well. Aztecs. Drive won't go. Ripped down by Shor Yazzie. Yazzie up the right side. Yazzie will give up the dribble to Horsley. Horsley out to the wing. Smout thought about it. Smout. And Smout will draw the foul on the reach-in by Pima. Smout inbounds. Hannah Williams blocked down below. Follows her shot. Yazzie will reset. Yazzie works it out to Horsley. Horsley shoots it out to the wing. Smout will fire it up just off the side of the rim. Here comes the Aztecs in transition. Horsley guarding the wing very well. They kick out in the corner. Left open. That's off the mark. Aztecs. And Chandler-Gilbert with Hannah Williams and Yazzie tracking it down. Great job on the loose ball. Now checking in for the Aztecs. Amelie Buffel Gutierrez. Coach Holthouse, he likes to work that roster up and down. at such a high pace, he wants to give everyone plenty of time to get their minutes in. Williams blocked down below.
It'll be really interesting to see now in this match right now with Sowers-Miller out, but she looks like she's returning to the court. What is their offense, like Aztecs' offense, look like from the outside with a little more shooting, where they don't have that main powerhouse down low?
Alicia Nelson with a good feed inside to Tatum Hanks. 14-2. Oberg now in the game for Chandler-Gilbert. 5 inside. Active hands by Chandler-Gilbert. Anna Williams down in the box as well as Horsley. Sowers-Miller will handle the inbounds. Works it out to the wing. Sowers-Miller. Once again, it's Oldberg. Active hands, knocking it away. Sowers-Miller is just so gigantic on the floor. Shot from the outside. Sowers-Miller underneath and just a little too strong off the glass. And the put up by Katie Burns.
And you know, Joe, you can't even be mad at that. I mean, that's what you want to see from a post player who's got Sowers-Miller's height and size. I mean, she just knows how to work the post, and it's fun to see. And so kudos to her on doing an excellent job.
Aztecs really rotating well on the wing. Hannah
move.
Williams.
Good pass.
And the point blank look. Oberg cannot connect on the good feed by Williams.
Unfortunately, those are points that Coyotes just can't afford to give up. A good look like that, clear blank shot, you got to get those in the hoop.
Wow. Basket by Pima. They now lead 18-2. Yazzie works it to the top of the key. Horsley gets the screen from Williams. Horsley blocked underneath. And the ball trickles out of bounds, and not too many things have gone wrong for Pima. That was one of few as Tatum Hanks steps out. Pima ranked 10th in the country.
You know, Joe, the Aztecs are one of those tricky teams where they're quick, they're fast, they're precise, but they've got some decent size. And so the Coyotes really have this tough balance between having players who can meet that size, but also maintain and move the ball quickly.
Smout driving. Good effort underneath. Oldberg rips it down. Taken away by the Aztecs in transition. Might have gotten away, and they don't. They call the travel on Katie Burns. Good transition defense by the Coyotes, causing the turnover. 18-2. So for Chandler-Gilbert, kind of like the same offensive start against Mason. Only 6 first half points. Yazzie and Williams, Smout, Oldberg on the floor. As well as Savannah Horton.
And right there, Joe, that's something I'd be doing all night long. They know Aztecs got them beat in size and height down low in the post. And right now, their shots aren't landing. I'd be driving in hard, getting foul calls, and try to put the Aztecs in some foul trouble so you can kind of get them to pull back a little bit, maybe start getting some floaters and easy jump shots.
Smout connects on the first. Coyotes still looking for their first field goal in this contest. Smout. A positive for the Coyotes, trailing 18-4. Aztecs with a wave as Katie Burns now running the offense. Hoffmeyer on the floor, as well as Lucy Land. Land out to Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer, guarded by Horton. They work it down in the post. And Reese Newman pulls it back out. Land.
Wow.
Sowers-Miller, cherry picking underneath. Easy basket. She's got 8 first period points. 20-4.
And the Cats are going to have to find an answer to lock down Sowers-Miller. She can't be getting those rebounds and put him right back up. It just puts the Coyotes in a tricky position. They've got to lock that up.
Williams works it out to Yazzie. 8 on the shot clock. Call the foul on Katie Burns. Yazzie will go to the line and shoot a pair. And Sherrill knocks down the first. Yazzie, a 22% free throw shooter. So that is a positive sign as she connects on both. 20-6. Katie Burns. This is fired up top. That's off the ball. Hoffmeyer is there. And how about the pinpoint passing to Sowers-Miller? 10 first period points. And you can tell what a connection between Hoffmeyer and Sowers-Miller. The chemistry between the two is off the charts. And this is early in the season. Williams lost the handle. Picked up by Newman. Katie Burns up the floor. Looking for Hoffmeyer, and Smout will knock it out of bounds. So this Aztecs team putting up 76 points a game.
42, Kylie at 10.
Highly explosive. 42% from the field. Showing just how talented they are up and down the floor. Hoffmeyer will reset to Katie Burns. And the Aztecs will play for the final shot here in the first period. Stout on Burns. Good pickup.
Defense.
By Horton. 1 second left, and that is going to be a travel by Reese Newman. So great defense by the Coyotes. 0.4 seconds left. Not much time to work with. A catch and a prayer. That's going to do it. After one, it's all Pima. 22-6 as the Coyotes are still looking for their first field goal in this one. And this Pima team, we kind of talked about their post dominance, and Kylie Sowers-Miller with 10 points and Hoffmeyer with 4 points, combination of 14 out of their 22 first period points.
Yeah, I mean, what a dominant performance to come out here and just put buckets in the hoop. I mean, that's really what they've done. They've been in connection, been in sync, and look, for Kylie Sowers-Miller to have sat part of that first quarter out and still have as many points she does, it just shows how good of a player she is. So, Coyotes, they're going to have to figure out how to lock up Kylie Sowers-Miller. I thought Brianna Martin was doing a pretty good job really forcing Sowers-Miller to step out of her zone. That's why you saw her kind of fumble on the leg a little bit. She was pushed way outside her zone, had a Euro step in quite a few times. I think Brianna Martin was doing a great job locking her up. I'd stick her back in. And then Coyotes going to have to work it around to get their shots up.
So for Coach Strickland right now, talking things over with his team, of course, the emphasis this week is for his team to really embrace the offense that he's trying to implement. Coach, of course, with the coaching of Leon Sutton and so forth, and the offense embracing and learning and listening and being all bought in. And that's so key. And along the way, this is a Chandler-Gilbert team that you look at their losses: Southern Nevada, Palm Beach State, Mesa, Illinois State. Talking a D1 team, and the other 3 schools are ranked. And now they got Pima ranked number 10 in the country. So this early part of the season is just a gauntlet of a schedule for Chandler-Gilbert.
Absolutely. And look, Joe, you talk about that buy-in. Right now is that time for them to buy in. They've got a whole rest of the season to play, and they've played a lot of tough teams. But as a player, it's hard when you've taken some losses along the way. You've played such tough teams. You start thinking, Are we on the wrong track? But they got to look at the toughness of these teams they're playing and how well they've been improving and realize that it's working. They just got to stay true to course.
Aztecs utilizing that clock oh so well as Annalise Holthouse couldn't connect underneath. Had the opportunity to talk to Coach Holthouse about what's it like coaching his daughter. He says, you know, on the court, it's coach. After the game, it's dad. So he says it's a great experience and he cherishes it. Of course, it's always challenging because you always expect more from an entangled situation with Lena West and Kennedy Newman on the floor. Foul will go against Elena. Good crowd on hand, plenty of Aztecs orange making the trek from Pima, taking the trek from the I-10 in the Tucson area down this way. Work down in the block, and that's going to be a travel on Holthouse. So the Chandler-Gilbert defense comes up, and they're still looking for their first field goal in this one. Ortiz works it to Williams. Pima coming out, playing man-to-man, relentless defense. Ortiz, top of the key, Elena West. 6 on the shot clock. West will stop. A little too strong off the back of the iron. And Hannah Williams make that Celaya Daniel with the putback. Celaya from Millennium High School, putting up 5 and 5, adds some physical toughness to the team. Ortiz. Oh. And that's going to be a backcourt violation. Tough possession for the Coyotes after scoring and coming up big defensively and then turning the ball right back over. 8 minutes left in this second period. So glad you can join us. Joe Pequeno, Matt McCurdy on the call. Doubleheader action for the Coyote Center. Coming up later, it's the Chandler-Gilbert men and Coach Brian Peabody and the high-flying Aztecs and the men of Pima putting up 119 points per game. Whereas Chandler-Gilbert putting up 70 plus. Contrasting styles, and that's going to be fun to watch. Sowers Miller doesn't connect, and Brianna Martin comes down with a rip. And I'm excited about Brianna Martin, not where she is now, but the learning process of where she could potentially be mapped by the time the season comes to an end.
Absolutely. I think the talent's all there. And what a great shot by Savannah Horton.
Savannah Horton from long range rips the 3. 22-11. They dump it down to Sowers Miller, picked up by Martin. And Sowers Miller just showing incredible touch underneath. And Martin, that was some good post defense. And just
Absolutely.
Sowers Miller really knows how to utilize the glass.
Yeah.
Good touch. You can tell, you and I have talked about it. You see so many post players, they get close or guards going up. And Martin on the other end, defended well by Sowers Miller. You see post players going up and just going too hard off the glass. And Sowers Miller just takes that perfect angle, soft touch, and banks it in for another basket.
Absolutely. It's something magical when somebody of that size and talent has that finesse and can just work the ball. But I love that Brianna Martin's in this game because we've talked that she needs some time to just get her teeth in and sink her teeth in. And what a great game to do that, where she can play Sowers Miller and really use her size and figure out what that touch looks like for her.
Rory Hoffmeyer in transition. Plenty of touches by the Aztecs. Ortiz lets it go. And they're going to call the foul on Daniel away from the shot. And the Aztecs on that last offensive possession in transition. Plenty of touches, and Hoffmeyer, point blank, easy look. Sowers Miller going to be a foul on the Coyotes on Daniel. That's her third. Williams will check in and Daniel will check out. So this is a very challenging affair for the Coyotes because you're facing an Aztecs team that is very fluid offensively. And their movement is so crisp and decisive. And right there, we kind of talk about how gifted they are. And Rory Hoffmeyer, a sophomore in the Pima program, the move she just made is one that speaks an opportunity to extend her college career next year somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, the Aztecs clearly, as you mentioned, Joe, have that fluidness to their offense. And I love the composure when they're down low, when they've got the pressure of the Coyotes defense, which is a solid defense. They stay composed and they make the shot that is the best shot for them.
Elena West, her first basket, 28-13, Aztecs. Pima working the top of the key. They work it outside. The shot is there, and Pima will let it fly off the mark. Good rip by Savannah Horton, who hits the deck. And the foul will go against Sowers-Miller. Isn't it funny, Matt, we talk about Sowers-Miller, her size and her touch around the glass. Also, very smart player.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are, 5 minutes left in the second period. Her first foul.
Yeah.
She's not reaching in. She's not doing any kind of ticky-tack, picking up garbage fouls that can just cripple a team along the way. Kalen Horsley back in the game. Fired up from the outside. That one in and out. Sowers-Miller with another rebound on her way to a double-digit glass cleaning kind of day. Aztecs. Kennedy Newman now worked back over to Melissa Nelson. Nelson with a nice dish. Sowers-Miller. Sowers-Miller and Ortiz getting tangled up. Now the referees will clearly try to calm tempers and I gotta tell you, for me, that's a situation for Melanie Ortiz. I'm excited that she's upset because that is what the Coyotes need to have. They have to show some passion. They have to show some aggressiveness. They got to start getting a little bit of a dog mentality. They can't just accept getting bullied on the court and being punished and accepting losses. They have to get to a point, and I know Matthew Strickland's doing everything possible to instill this. They got to start not sleeping well at night after a loss and being upset and being mad and then come to the court the next day and being bought in.
Yeah.
And accepting the fact that collectively they've got to buy in to get better. And that's how this team will get better. They'll start closing the gap with the Pimas, the Mesas, the Scottsdales, the Glendales, and not only just compete for that 4th spot, but start inching their way to start resonating more on the national stage as well.
Yeah, no doubt, Joe. I mean, sure, the Coyotes have played some tough teams, but at the end of the day, there's no excuses. And you got to be so tired of losing that you want to win. And like you said, they need to buy in, they need to lock in, and show a little aggressiveness on the court, show that they want to be in this game, and more importantly, want to be in this season. And so if this is the game to do it, this is the game that fires them up and gets them really, truly locked in good. Earlier in the season, the better.
So it looks like there was a technical foul call against Melanie Ortiz as Sowers-Miller is at the line. And it's almost fitting that the league's leading scorer is also dynamic from the free throw line and cans them both. And for Coach Holthouse, you got to wonder if Sowers-Miller even makes it to a sophomore season.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be, okay, so look like we have offsetting penalties on both sides. So Sowers-Miller probably picked up a technical as well. We'll try to dissect that. Horsley misses on the first.
Good shot.
So offsetting technicals. So Williams.
And truthfully, Joe, that little free throw for Horsley may have come in more handy than we thought. So far, hasn't been able to swish it in the hoop. But that may have been the touch that she needed to really lock it in and start putting some points on the board.
Olberg gets called for the foul on the moving screen. 30-14 as Tatum Hanks checks back in. Ortiz, the steal. Ortiz going right down the lane and puts it up. Good aggressive move. And fighting on the floor to Williams. And Williams, and I love the aggressiveness by Melanie Ortiz.
Yeah.
Just going strong and being relentless. Look, if you're going to play a team like Pima or Mesa, it's got to be 150% full throttle. There's no hesitation. You got to go down, and you got to go down with flames off your hair.
Absolutely.
There can't be any kind of like, well, we should have played higher. We should have given him more effort. The only way Chandler-Gilbert on the women's side is going to continue to progress is with that kind of effort that Ortiz just showed in that last offensive possession.
No doubt.
Hannah Williams draws the contact against Tatum Hanks. Williams will shoot a pair. Williams, a 63% free throw shooter. Good crowd on hand, early afternoon, and Chandler-Gilbert Nation showing up in force. Aztecs Nation showing up in force.
Well, and look, beyond this game, we've got that boys game coming up just after this at 4 p.m. And we've talked a little bit about this, but that was the team in the championship round that beat the Chandler-Gilbert Coyotes, the #1 team in the conference. So I think the audience is eager to see how this game plays out on both ends, men's and women.
And how about the feed from Hanks to Hoffmeyer inside? Just tremendous teamwork, 32-17. But after a rough first period, Coyotes in this second period are holding their own. Olberg misses down low. They're actually outscoring the Aztecs in this second period.
Wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that Chandler-Gilbert has a new coach. They have a whole new makeup. They're learning how to play good, consistent offensive basketball. And here they are taking on, and they're going to call the offensive foul against Elena West. Use that forearm just a little bit to draw the contact. So there's a lot of moving parts offensively from this team. So here they are in the second period, just throughout the first period, okay? But here they are looking so much better. And that's exciting because of where this team can go.
Absolutely.
Losses in November, look, it's all part of the resume, right? But it's not going to be where they are. And once again, Ortiz, the impressive drive, the ability to see the floor, to come off the screen and see the nice flow to the rack, and we'll shoot a pair.
Yeah, I think what I'm loving in the second quarter especially is, one, Melanie Ortiz bringing that energy, bringing that passion to the game, and I think bringing that intensity that the Coyotes desperately need against the Aztecs. And we're seeing more drives, more looks, more passes, and more shots going up. Coyotes need to stay a little more composed, lock in those shots, really anchor in. But like you said, they're learning. This is a team that's trying to figure out what that rhythm is. And if they can find that rhythm of how they score as a team now,
they'll be so much better as we get to the end of the season.
It's funny, I talked to Coach Holthouse before this one. I said, who plays faster, you or Coach Brian Peabody's team? He's like, they play faster, we play better defense. And that's probably the case. Smout picked up. Horsley, guarded by Nelson. Horsley will fire it up. Olberg underneath, battling. Good second chance hustle by Olberg underneath, extending the possession for the Coyotes. It'll be Smout off the inbounds as Reese Newman, as well as Katie Burns, about to check back in. Substitutions. Alicia Nelson checks out. Alicia Nelson, the starting point guard. Talk more about her in the course of this one. Smout off the inbounds. Horsley thought about it. Ortiz fires it up. Good look. Smout keeps it alive. Plenty of time. They'll reset. Ortiz picked up by Rafael Gutierrez. Ortiz, turnaround.
Good shot.
Up a nice soft touch. Melanie Ortiz, 32-20. And this second period gets better by the second for the Coyotes. Worked outside, Newman. They dump it down to Hoffmeyer. Inside look at the Tanks, taken away. The good double team down to the box. Great rotation by the Coyotes.
Absolutely great coverage.
Smout. Horsley. Works it out to Ortiz. Ortiz and Tanks will tie it up. And possession arrow goes to the visiting teal and orange. 51.5 seconds left in this first half. So glad you can join us right here on the Coyote Sports Network. Matt McCurdy, Joe Paclino. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. Matt, are you cooking up the bird or just mom and dad?
Hey, I'm traveling up to Idaho and letting the family members do that part.
There you go. Is it always a great spread?
It's always a great spread. You got all the goodies. You got the turkey, you got the stuffing, anything you ever want.
Brianna Martin back in the game. Rips it down. Call it an 8-second shot clock differential. Smell. Katie Burns in her back pocket. Coyotes a little stagnant. Horsley. 7 seconds. Ortiz out to Horsley. A little short underneath. Hoffmeyer rips it down. Here comes Katie Burns. Shot at the buzzer. That is off the mark. The Coyotes with a stronger
As best as we
second
can.
period. They actually outscore Pima 14-10 in that second period. So Matt, a lot look throughout that first period. It wasn't pretty for the Coyotes. They couldn't get into the flow of their offense. They were simply outplayed by the post of Pima. And look, that's going to be the case when just about every team in this region faces Sowers Miller. She's going to be that good, okay?
Yeah.
Point blank, she's got plenty of touch. But in that second period, Coyotes outscored Pima 14-10. Once again, it's not where you are in the first. It's getting better in the increments of the game, and the Coyotes showed that in the second period.
Yeah, this game is definitely not over. You know, Aztecs obviously have some impressive pieces to their offense, to their team, and the Coyotes do too. And I think the biggest thing is it's a weird balance, right? Because the Coyotes need to increase their intensity and their hunger, and I love that that's happening in this game. I feel like they're really starting to lock in and engage and fight. And kudos to Melanie Ortiz for leading that march. Really, anytime she gets the ball stolen, jumping right into the fray and grabbing the ball back. But when they get into that offense, when they get that good look, even the post especially, take your time, really work the body and get it a good look off the glass. Don't just throw something up into the hoop hoping for the best shot possible. Really take your time. So it's a mix. Go fast, intense, but play smart, stay composed. And I think they can easily match the Aztecs on this game.
Sowers Miller, 14 points. Hoffmeyer So good underneath. She's got great hands.
Absolutely.
She's got 10 points. Ortiz leading the Coyotes attack with 5. Savannah Horton with that big 3, and Hannah Williams with 3. 32-20 halftime as both the Pima men and the Chandler-Gilbert men are here in the arena, and that's going to be coming up after the women finish their tip. We'll take a short timeout from the Coyotes Center. It's the Coyotes and the Aztecs on a Super Saturday of Hoops from the Coyote Center on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network.
Never mind, Russ. She finished. They got big boys too.
need, Coach. They go so deep. It's ridiculous, dude. And we welcome you back to the Coyote Center. Matt McCurdy, Joe Pequeno on the call. Coyotes with a 32-20 halftime deficit against the number 10 Pima Aztecs. Much better second period, Matt, and now can they build off that? Can they put another 2 quarters together? Look, 12 points is nothing. And with 2 halves in the course of a ball game, can they string a couple good periods together to erase a 12-point deficit?
Yeah, I mean, we've got an eternity in basketball terms with this kind of spread. There's so much the Coyotes could do to bring this score up and make it a really tight game. So Aztecs obviously got to score, got to put points on the board. Coyotes got to lock that down. We've seen that Miller, a really intense player, can do and make a lot of points for her team. So locking it down on the Coyotes side is going to be crucial. And Coyotes got to just keep scoring. I can't emphasize that enough. And a game that we thought was going to maybe be a blowout in the first has now turned into quite an intense game.
Miller and Hoffmeyer, such a dynamic duo in the post, and they work so well together. You can see the fluidity of those two on the floor. Pima, so many easy baskets inside. They shot 65% compared to Chandler-Gilbert, who shot only 24%. But I can tell you, that second period, so much better for Chandler-Gilbert. Now the third period is underway with Elena West. Out to Horsley. Horsley driving, and Sowers-Miller cleans it up. Alicia Nelson, dynamic in the open
pass.
floor. Aztecs showing the ball movement, working inside to their dynamic post, and Sowers-Miller with a good look. That one just rolled around the world and turned out. And Olberg is there to clean it up. Elena West now handling the point in this second half. Ortiz. Little turnaround. Sowers-Miller well on her way to a double-digit rebounding effort. Work to the other end. Shot is up from the outside, and Alicia Nelson, her first bucket of the game. Nelson, who runs the point for the team, went to Window Rock High, a little smaller school on the reservation. When I asked Coach Holthouse, what did you see in her? He said he talked and saw so much about her court vision, her ability to handle the basketball and to get her teammates in good spots. And you can see that on the floor. Very selfless player as Ortiz misses from the outside, but Olberg is there to clean it up, and the Coyotes, good second chance effort as West is lucky she did not get called for the travel. Williams looking inside for Ortiz, who was cutting over. Ortiz keeps it alive. Williams from the elbow. And Hannah Williams with a nice stroke from the outside. And Matt, that's a little bit of the evolution of her game. Last year, we don't see her hitting that elbow jumper.
No. That was a great shot from Hannah Williams. Just step back, release, nice and smooth. Ooh, wow.
And Sowers-Miller, and there's nothing you could do for Chandler-Gilbert. She was fronted, there's a body back, double team, and she just so strong and got such tremendous touch. And banked it home, 16 and counting. Williams driving in, good finish. Well, good drive that is, and just could not connect on the finish. Horsley up the other way. Picked up by Nelson. Horsley going to the deck. Swatted away by Sowers-Miller. I love the aggressiveness of the Coyotes because what they're trying to do right now, they're trying to get Sowers-Miller into some potential foul trouble and get her off the floor.
Yeah.
Get her off the floor, and Hoffmeyer all of a sudden the game gets a little more even on the skill on the floor.
Yeah. I also love that they're just moving the pace and putting up shots. Not all of them are hitting, but you know what? The more attempts they take, the more likely they are to score.
Nelson, Hoffmeyer, such good open vision, and Kenny Nelson with that Kenny Newman that is with a jumper from the outside. Hoffmeyer's got tremendous touch and great court presence. No question, Hoffmeyer is going to have an opportunity to extend her collegiate career playing somewhere. She'll definitely find a home. Ortiz out to West. And the reach in against Newman. Checking in, Annalise Holthouse. As Sowers-Miller gets a breather. Sowers-Miller. And here in the Phoenix area, gotta kind of track down what high school she went to. Elena with a good look, just off the front of the iron. Nelson up the floor. You can really tell Nelson's got that great height for a point guard. She's got great handles and really selfless on the court. She's more about getting her teammates in the flow of the offense than actually trying to take over and be a scorer. But you can tell with her handles and her ability to put it on the deck, she could easily be a double-digit scorer if she put her mind to it.
Absolutely.
Holthouse picked up by Olberg.
Good hands.
With the swat down in the box.
I'm really liking that from Hannah Williams. I mean, she's just keeping her eye on the ball, being that backcourt defense, and she's had a couple great blocks right off the bat, swatting away the ball so the Aztecs can't get it in the inside.
Hoffmeyer. Holthouse inside. 3 on the shot clock. That's fired up from deep. Kept alive by Holthouse. Dishes it out.
Wow.
Aztecs with a lot of touches. And Holthouse up and in. And that was the Aztecs basket, Matt. That was earned. Nothing was given.
No, absolutely.
Chandler-Gilbert relentless. Just the Aztecs just a tad better. 40-22. As Tatum Hanks about to check back in. Ortiz guarded out front by
Good move.
Goldberg underneath.
And then mind the Coyotes, Joe, I'm using that all day long. That nice dish down to Chloe Olberg. Now that she's kind of getting into her rhythm, her touch, I love that she used her time, put her body into her defensive player and went up strong. So that's a great play if you can get the point or the foul.
I got to tell you, Matt, you and I have been covering the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference, and that easily could have been a push-off on Aleda West. She got away with one there. We've been covering women's basketball for over a year, and I got to tell you, as far as forwards that are just like almost point blank, Hoffmeyer and Sowers Miller are as good as you're going to see.
Absolutely.
Is going to have an opportunity, not just in the region, but because they're so skilled in the post.
Yeah.
If they can get consistent shooting from the outside as Ortiz rips a deep three, 42-27, they're going to have an opportunity to make some noise on the national stage.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot might try to say that's their height, that gives them that advantage, but we've seen a lot of tall girls out here on this court, and that does not necessarily mean that they can put it in the hoop and convert. And the fact they've got that finesse, that talent, and that composure to do so, it's impressive across the board.
Rafael Gutierrez with the nice jumper.
Oh.
And the bad pass by Daniel as it's Nelson racing up the floor. And they're going to call the travel against Rafael Gutierrez. Coach Holthouse in his 17th season. Likes the look of his team, 76 points per game. Tremendous forwards on there for the Aztecs. Smout off the side of the glass. Tanks working up Nelson. Nelson reading the defense so well. Ortiz trying to track her down. Tanks down in the blocks. Good touch to Holthouse inside. Back to Holthouse off the back of the iron. Daniel with the rebound. Ortiz. And Ortiz gets tangled up. And that's a rarity where we've seen Melanie just didn't read the defense well and kind of dribbled into traffic and lost the handle.
Unfortunately on that play too, Melanie's got such a high engine rev. I mean, she's going 100 miles per hour. We've seen that all game. Some of her teammates just a little bit behind her. I don't think she had the open pass. She was just ahead of her entire team.
Brianna Martin and Cheryl Yazzie back in. Shot is
good
up.
shot.
And knocked down
16.
by the Aztecs. 47-27. Yazzie will fire it up. And Yazzie draws the contact.
And now Cheryl Yazzie line up to shoot two at the hoop. First one won't go. She'll line up now for her second.
So Yazzie misses as Adaya Chi, who on the roster
Pima roster is 37, but she changed it. She's now number 15. Nelson dumps it down in the blocks. Tanks on the turnaround. Too strong. Yazzie up the floor. Good rotation by the Aztecs. Smout in the lane. Banks it off the glass. Hard fought shot by Sarah Smout. 47-29. Fells Gutierrez sees a double team. Worked in the corner. Nelson puts it on the floor. Sarah Smout called with a foul on the hold. Savannah Horton checking back in. Sowers Miller as well. Tanks checking out. Sowers Miller getting a break, and now she's going back in. So lethal. Sowers Miller. Fells Gutierrez kicks it out. Chi on the floor. Tries to scoop it up, and young lady, high IQ, and draws the contact against Savannah Horton. Idea Chi at the line. And Chi connects on the first. Chi putting up 5 points a game. 50% free throw shooter. Holds true in that sequence. Pima up 48-29. Yazzie. Yazzie strong underneath. Sowers Miller with the foul. And that's her third.
And you mentioned this earlier in the second, Joe. I mean, drive in, pull a foul from Sowers Miller, try to get her in foul trouble. That's going to be one of the best strategies they can utilize in this third and fourth.
Sherrill at the line. 2 of 2. Connects on her third. 48-30 after being outscored 22-6 in that first period. Coyotes have played the Aztecs relatively close. Worked around by the Aztecs. Sowers Miller. Chi. Look at that top of the key. Smout bringing the defensive pressure. Yazzie. Fells Gutierrez. Blocked by Yazzie. Daniel is there. And Daniel showing some physicality. Loving it from Celaya. Great physicality by the Coyotes. Winding down to 1 minute left in the third period. Horton gets the screen from Daniel. Horton tries to scoop it. Tough shot. That situation for Horton has to kind of understand. Extend the shot clock, look for a better shot either for yourself or set up your teammates.
Absolutely.
Sowers Miller.
Wow.
And her dominance continues. She's got 18. 50-30. Smout. Guarded by Fells Gutierrez. Now it's Daniel. Aztecs team, active hands. Lucy Land moves well on the floor. Land on the defensive assignment against Celaya Daniel. Smout Daniel. Juliet Botiller on the floor. Smout fires it up off the front of the iron. Aztecs will play for the final shot here in the third. Chi on the outside. Thought about it. Steps and the drive, and Sowers Miller battling underneath. Extends the offensive opportunity for the Aztecs. 11.8 seconds left in the third. Off the inbounds. Land splits the defenders and will shoot a pair. Sarah Smout on the foul from behind as Land will shoot a pair. 66% free throw shooter. Misses on the first. Of course, keep it right here afterwards. The men. Chandler-Gilbert, led by head coach Steve Silsby. And she misses on both. Tracked down by Yazzie. Chandler-Gilbert playing for the final shot. Fired up from the outside. And no killer is blocked by who else? Sowers Miller. So once again, we've seen Sowers Miller be so dominant down in the post. And here's a young lady, she's a giant, easily the biggest body, but tremendous touch, tremendous IQ, and can read the floor very well.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many players out here on this court that, you know, they may have the size and the physical ability, but doesn't necessarily mean with a triple team, body slamming against them could make that shot. And Sowers Miller just stays in the game, locks in, and goes for the target, and is undeterred, it would seem, by any of the bodies pressed up against her trying to get that ball away. So just a tremendous athlete, and you're right. Who knows where she'll be next year when you got talent like that and an ability to lock in, as Sowers Miller's does. People are on the lookout for that.
So the Coyotes were outscored 18-10 in that third period as Pima has extended the lead. Sowers Miller with 4 points in that third. The Coyotes, Ortiz with a 3, Williams, Smout, Olberg with buckets. And right now, this fourth period, it's not about trying to get an incredible comeback. It's about continuing to build, continuing to learn, and to continue to fight against upper echelon teams to try to close the gap for games that are going to matter come 2025.
Yeah.
Out on the wing, Newman. Lucy Land will
Good block.
look for Sowers Miller. For Strickland, wanting his team to continue to play up pace when they get the opportunity. Smout. Daniel puts it on the deck. Daniel kicks it outside, taken away by Reese Newman. Katie Burns up the floor. Burns kicks it out. Rufels Gutierrez. Try to get it into Sowers Miller. One too many steps.
You know,
Good crowd on hand for a Super Saturday of basketball here from Chandler-Gilbert.
and the Coyotes right now in this third and now leaning to the fourth a little bit, seems like they're rushing to try and get the ball in the hoop, try and take that shot, versus running their offense a little bit more, running the clock, and taking the good open shot after a few good passes.
Smout with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Yazzie just fires it up, and that is a clean look from Sherul Yazzie from 3. A good start to the offensive flow for the Coyotes here in the fourth. And the ball trickles out of bounds. Back in for Pima. Making her Saturday debut, Sophia Cambridge. Hannah Williams checking in. Olberg checking out.
What I really like about this game too, Joe, is the down low posts on both teams are getting in the work. I mean, they are really getting a chance to sharpen their teeth and really put their skills to the test.
Smout with the turnover. Katie Burns lost the handle. Williams. Hannah underneath. Hannah. Tough shot. Will shoot a pair. Good move by Hannah Williams, recognizing the one-on-one opportunity and taking it strong. Hannah on the day, 5 points.
Good shot.
Nice smooth stroke. Already a season high for Hannah, averaging 2 points on the year, now with 6 on the day. 50-34. And once again, you take out a very tough first period, and the Coyotes have played the Aztecs even.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. And I think the team, at some point, it's going to resonate that the energy and effort and the execution, Land will fire it up off the mark, and Sowers-Miller. And look, I love that effort. Williams, Daniel on one side, Yazzie on the other side of Sowers-Miller. Is that at some point, it's all going to resonate that the effort, energy, and execution, if it's all there to start, Coyotes are going to have an opportunity to win some games in this conference. And not just against the lower end, but pull off a significant win against the upper echelon. Hoffmeyer. Katie Burns. Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer on the good feed over to Sophia Cambridge. And Hoffmeyer has got excellent vision. I mean, she has got that height, and she's always looking so good around the glass for herself. But this Aztecs team, they're going to be a force. They've got forwards that can really, really hurt teams.
But what makes her pass ability so unique, when she gets in the paint, that's where some of her best passes are coming and assists. You know, a lot of these players, when they get inside the paint, they're just looking at the hoop and they're not even looking around for their players.
Coyotes eating up too much time. Aztecs trying to grind their way out of this fourth. The Coyotes just trying to draw closer and continuing to learn. Good defense down low by Hannah Williams. Elena West. Elena kicks it out. Horsley lets it fly. Just off the front of the iron. The Kalins had a lot of good looks and just were not dropping from deep. Sowers-Miller and Martin with a good defense underneath. Great work by Brianna Martin. We like to see that size be a factor against Sowers-Miller. West, little pull-up. That's blocked by Katie Burns. 19 on the shot clock. Checking back in, Newman and Nelson. Burns and Newman checking out. And a Williams elbow. Good look. Can't falter on the shot. It was a good, clean look. Alicia Newman. Like that, Alicia Nelson, that is, so smooth. Works it outside. Hoffmeyer on that left wing. Kennedy Newman. Won't go, but Hoffmeyer's there. A little turnaround. Hoffmeyer showing the touch. She's got 14. Hoffmeyer, a sophomore. West thought about it. Then she saw Sowers-Miller coming in. Horsley can't get it to drop. Down the floor. Newman works to Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer finds Nelson down low. Worked to Cambridge, who fires it up. Too strong. Following. And off Hannah Williams as Jaden Hanks and Holberg back in for Chandler-Gilbert. 5:52 left in the fourth. Cambridge. Alicia Nelson from Window Rock High School. Great size, good court vision. Cambridge, great touch from the outside. We haven't seen a lot of Sophia Cambridge in this game, Matt, but you can tell she's part of that Aztecs. Good ball movement, good read, and she's got some good touch from 10 feet in.
Yeah, no, it's clear she can get a nice drive, good look, and float it right over the top with that length that she has.
Horsley misses from deep. Olberg. Elena works it back to Horsley. 14 on the shot clock.
Good pass.
Olberg felt the triple team. Ortiz will fire it up off the side of the iron. Nelson. Elena West on the defensive assignment. Nelson, couple dribbles, gets in the lane, and we kind of alluded to that Melicia Nelson, and Coach Strickland calls a timeout. That Melicia Nelson is that player that she's the engine behind the team, selfless. Doesn't put up the numbers, but you can tell on that drive right there what she is capable of doing and the kind of offensive game that she could potentially tap into if she's asserted into more of a scorer's role.
Yeah, I mean, when you have such great athletes on the team like Sowers Miller or Hoffmeyer, some of these massive scorers, you're just putting points on the board. You know, as a facilitator, you kind of get to take that break a little bit and just move the ball around. But that was just great ball handling skill, maneuvering through the defense. And that was not an easy play to get around. You saw her hustle and work, and she's capable of it.
So the Coyotes taking a timeout as the lead is now 21 for the Aztecs. 4:45 left on the floor right now for Pima as they come out. Cambridge, Nelson, Tanks, Hoffmeyer, and Newman. Ortiz, Smout, Williams, Olberg, and Horsley on the floor for Chandler-Gilbert. The first of two. Heavyweight matchup coming up next. A Region 1 Finals rematch between Pima and Chandler-Gilbert. Ortiz misses from deep. Nelson works it over to Tanks. Tanks.
Good pass.
And Hoffmeyer inside. Foul goes against Horsley. And talk about up the floor so quickly, 3 touches and putting Hoffmeyer in a position to have the opportunity to nail something close.
Well, and I don't know, for everyone watching online, I don't know if you saw it, but Hoffmeyer, not only did she get the quick pass, go up strong for the basket, but to her credit as well, really emphasized the bump that she received from the defense to get that foul call. And there's an art to that. Many call it flopping, many call it whatever it is. She knows how to show that she got the bump and get the call.
She's got 17 points. Sowers Miller with 18. Horsley lets it fly from deep. That's off the mark. So 35 of the 57 coming from Hoffmeyer and Sowers Miller. So for the Aztecs going forward, when they face a team that does have the equal size and that can rotate, you're going to wonder, will they have that third score or potentially that fourth score? And that's going to be a question mark for Coach Holthouse going forward. And that's Tanks. And Hanks on the reach in. Snout. Williams. Williams going in, lost the handle. 57-35.
Well, that right there is something we've seen a fair amount tonight, where just a little pickpocket off the handles on the drive in, and that's just kudos to the Aztecs, being quick, being reactive, and the extra body coming in to help on defense.
Fake and the
Good pass.
pass inside of Hoffmeyer off her fingertips. Colts Holthouse continuing to teach right to our left. Rightfully so. Williams Guarded by Hanks. Smout picked up by Newman. And Williams and Hanks getting tangled up down in the blocks. Short timeout, then it's the boys matchup coming up. Set for a 2 p.m. tip.
Wow.
Gliding up the floor. And the pinpoint pass to Vital.
And what a smooth assist. I mean, she's just coming down the lane, a little toss over to her player. And we've talked about that court vision, just so key.
Malicia Nelson is going to be one of those hidden gems for a team. How about Olberg underneath? Good to see that from Olberg. Her second bucket of the game, 59-37. Feed inside. And a great cut by Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer just continuing to fill up the box score. She's got 19 points, team high. Aztecs taking no chances with Sowers Miller after a little bit of a gimpy lower body injury in the first half. Smout on the good cut. 61-39. Under 2 minutes left. Shot is up from the outside, off the mark. Olberg cannot make it down. Holthouse checking back in. Juliet Botiller.
I really like that little team up there from Smout and Ortiz. Just both quick guards that move the ball well, and that was just nice teamwork. Going inside, passing it out, and then ripping right back in for Smout to get the point.
What a tremendous move by Alicia Nelson. Tangled up. Refs let that one play out. Got to figure that whistle was going to come a little quicker there. Ortiz. And Ortiz lost the handle as she fouled the baseline on the drive. Buck 24. First of two, men coming up at 2 p.m. Region 1 Finals rematch from a year ago. Some big time electricity pumping for that one. Shot from deep.
Wow, good shot.
Big time bomb by Vital. 64-39. 1 minute left in this one. Smout. Botiller. Love to see Juliet get in the box score. Olberg. Battling underneath. And Williams. Second chance muscle underneath. Cassie Coolidge checking in for the Aztecs in the final 48 seconds.
We really haven't seen as much of Botiller in this last game, but she's really got a shifty play style as she brings it down the court. Hopefully we get to see more of that.
Juliet trying to work her way in for PT on this team. Nelson in that corner. Vital. A little too strong. Great hustle by Ortiz underneath. So we've seen Chandler-Gilbert. Work in progress offensively. Bad first quarter. Strong in the second. And then the third and fourth trying to find their way, kind of laboring through. And that's probably going to be how it's going to look for the first 10, 15 games until they can really get it synced.
Yeah, a lot of pieces coming together, just need more time to fuse.
Smout now with 5 points. Connects on both.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Melanie Ortiz leading the way with 8. And this one is winding down as the Aztecs fans are happy and they get it done. And so much talk was focused around their two post players, Kylie Sowers-Miller, 18 points. Rory Hoffmeyer with 19, and their two bigs, Matt, did not disappoint.
Yeah, it was an impressive game. I love the rotation from both these coaches and both these teams, just working their girls in there and really letting them play and most importantly, letting them have full energy when they were in the game. Sometimes you see some of these shorter benches where the girls are just ragged after the end. But, I mean, the bigs can't ask for a better performance from the power forwards, the down low posts on the Aztecs especially. But I love that our Coyotes got their hands dirty and really got to get physical and see what that's like. So impressive on both ends.
Coyotes led by Melanie Ortiz with 8 points, Hannah Williams with 7, Sarah Smout with 6. And in this one, it was really about, unfortunately, just getting outmanned by the two dynamic posts for the Aztecs. And this is really a great moment. You can see Leon Sutton, the assistant coach. And Leon has played professionally. He's over talking to Sowers-Miller, and just a great moment by Leon Sutton just a second ago. Some words of wisdom right there, and you love to see that because ultimately basketball, it's a small community of people, and that's Leon Sutton giving back to a player who's got so much potential that we're going to see her playing at a different level in the near future. So the Coyotes, they dropped to 2-5. 0-2 in league play.
Yep. 2 minutes, coach.
Of course, for
Hey, don't
them,
start it for 2 more minutes. I just told coach.
they'll have a little time off. And the next time they are back on the floor, they get Thanksgiving weekend off, and they are back at it, taking on the Benue JV squad on Wednesday, December 5th, followed by Scottsdale here at home, Saturday, December 7th. So they're going to have some time off to enjoy life, watch a lot of football on Thanksgiving and some NBA and turkey, mashed potatoes, and all the desserts they can handle. But along the way, Matt, what do you think collectively under Coach Matt Strickland does this team need to take in to kind of start turning the page offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it a lot, you know, the buy-in. These girls really checking into the game and realizing that they've got potential.
Switch stream. I'm going to shut you down and start you back up.
Okay. Are we still? But anyways, the potential to really lock down and walk into the game. So sounds like we're going to end this stream and head into the men's basketball stream, which we will resume our broadcast and join you over there.
So we'll take a short time out from the Coyote Center. The women, a hard-fought loss to Pima, the 10th ranked team in the country, and showing why, led by Kylie Sowers-Miller and Rory Hoffmeyer, combining for 35 points. Make that 37, that is. The men coming up in about 20 minutes or so. Keep it locked and loaded from the Coyote Center.